Ha! It worked. It worked. Through the power of being able to replace images, I can do thing. That's fun. That's fun. Oops. Yep. Oh, that's me taking a picture of it. Not that one. There it is. If it's on a computer, that just means it's in a folder somewhere. So unless they, like, encrypt it or something, I can do things. Good news! This is actually a page in that book. The same book that has the secret hideaway spy place. This is also a page in there, I just realized. So that's handy. When did it become a page? Was it when I put my hand in that? I'm not well, no, pages just magically appear. You don't really pick them up. Alright, so here's the part where I'm at, right? Yeah, there's the part saying to get all the things I got. You need the 4 Grade Zero maintenance units, GZMUs. So that's what we were dealing with. Yeah, there's the 4 terminals I found. Seems straightforward. Once you have uploaded 20, blah blah blah, yep. Calibration 0 markers. Once you reach the Great Zero Calibration Center, your key only needs to finish the calibration process by synchronizing calibrations with the Great Zero itself. There are 4 machines that enable you to carry out the final task. You'll need to receive a coordinate from one of the 3 machines, the 4th is not yet available, and find the single marker at that coordinate. Similar to the early markers, it will only become visible when you have entered a certain radius. You will have to touch it. After you found the first one, you need to return to the calibration center and insert your key into one of the machines. At the time, you'll be able to read one of the 3 coordinates of your key. Okay, so I need to... So that's why they all had different coordinates on them, was because I need to find the locations of each of those individual coordination, calibration spots. Fuck. There's... like... the coordinates are meaningless to me. I don't even have a map of this. Well, no, I do have technically have a map of the place in that one location. But does that map feature... I guess I want to go here, actually. Does that map show me how these places connect? Does it have a grid system on it? Because unless that one map at the visitor center or whatever, or the main square, has coordinates on it, I don't think I have a way of finding out... it's probably one of these places. Alisal Cove? I don't really know what these places are very well. I'm trying to find the one that's in the front area. So we'll see. That's probably close enough. I just don't want to be all the way off by the library, because I'm trying to be by that one main square with the map on it. That's the only map I have. So if that gives me coordinates, then I might be able to work with something. If it doesn't give me coordinates, then I think I have to guess. I'll just keep this guy on, I guess. It's right down here, right? Yeah. I guess I'll just keep him on and see if it turns red anywhere. Because, shit. It's gonna take a while, isn't it? And it's also like the definition of like off-camera content, stuff that I do without you guys even seeing it, because all I'm gonna do is want... Yeah, there's no coordinates on this thing. It's just a drawn map. Huh. So I'm supposed to find 4 locations in this game, and I'm supposed to find them via their coordinates, except I don't know what their coordinates mean. Like, it's probably XYZ, but XYZ with respect to what? Which way is the which direction on this map is the positive Y direction, or the positive X direction, or the Z direction? I mean, one of those is literally up and down, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't know which way is north, for example. Or how big the spread of the coordinates is. Like, I'm somebody who actually has experience with maps. And has mapped for college, and so on, but that doesn't mean that those coordinates are really going to help me. It's especially concerning because these these waypoints I've been finding are on multiple different maps. There's this one, and then there's the first chunk of city we encountered at the beginning of the game, and then there's the mirror image that we were able to access via the spy thing, the spy room. So that's at least 3 completely separate maps that probably are all on one continual coordinate plane, which we can't see. And on top of that, it seems like there's probably... Oh yeah, we've also already gotten some of those coordinates already via like balconies and like those weird places you can teleport to that are dead ends that aren't connected to anything, so you have to teleport to them via the pages. So I guess I'll try those first. I'll try teleporting to those locations first and see if those can be found. Because, yeah, this is just going to be busy work. I don't know, I don't think this is good content. I don't find this idea compelling. Just find the invisible things is not a fun puzzle. And if you're able to figure out the coordinate plane, then it's not even a puzzle, you're just reading a map. And if you don't have a map to read, then it's just a blind search. And neither version of that is interesting or Myst-like, really. It's not really what Myst puzzles tend to be. And it's not, I feel like that's not why we're here. Huh. Alright, let's start warping to those various locations and see if any of them react. If this whole place was at least on one continuous map, I'd have more to work with, but I don't have a good way of telling how the place I was there mixes well with other places. This part in particular screams ARG, which is that when you have to deal with an ARG puzzle situation, what usually happens is that the puzzle is so obscure and it's so unsolvable by one person essentially that like people collaboratively solve it, which makes some sense because this game was supposed to be an MMO. And so like it makes sense on that level of like potentially encouraging you to go talk to the other players around you and be like, hey, where do I find the coordinate for this place? And then everyone's like, it's on that balcony right there. Like if you're in an active chat, that'd be one way to figure this stuff out. This oversees the original version of the neighborhood. I don't think you ever go over there. This area is so spread out. Alright, well, we'll see what I can uncover. This is definitely in the territory of thing where I think the majority of people that would solve it in the intended environment would probably end up solving it just by asking the other players that already know the answer. Oh? Ah. Okay, come on. Oh, there you are. There we go. Got one. I couldn't click on... There we go. Now I can click on it. Ah. But now you're filled in. Alright, well good news. The second page had one. Good luck there. Now I just need to report back with my finding. Is it this one? That's going to be basalt columns when I get a look at that, isn't it? So that's the coast area, I think. Is it that one? Shit, I'm getting so turned around about how this whole place fits together. I'll get back to you soon. I liked that setting. Where was it? Where am I? No, we get there via the Nexus, right? Yeah, that's why I'm not finding it. There's a secondary tree. I have a lot of trouble holding this all in my brain. Like how the old places connect. ReZero? Or is ReZero just... Yeah, that's the place. Okay. The Great Conjunction. I always want to call it the Grand Conjunction. Yeah, it's ReZero. For a minute there, I couldn't remember whether or not ReZero was this place or if it was the place that I first started doing this mission during, where the previous key place was. Wait, do I put you into this? Do I just feed you into here? No, I don't think so. If you sprint downstairs, he has a thing where it keeps falling down, so I think you actually go faster if you jump. So am I supposed to feed it into these machines? I don't know which one I got, though, so... Was it this one? Was it? They're not reacting. The key things are here, though. Can't click on that one. Alright, shit. Which one did I find? I guess when you click on it, he puts his hand in. That might be my clue. I mean that might be how you turn it in. It was that one. Okay. So now you should be blinking again? No? Aren't you supposed to go back to blinking so I can look for the next one? I think. You're not blinking. Okay. Says -12, -2. So it's currently giving me a coordinate. Yeah, this one's glowing now. So that's got to be the one I found. Huh. Okay, oh, now it's blinking. Okay. What? Oh, that's my notebook. Alright. So now I can look for the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. Which... This is like my... This is kind of like my fourth world tour of searching through this area, isn't it? I just miss puzzles. This doesn't feel right to me. That's where we left off. Oh, is that the last page? Wait, what? I thought I had a giant book of these things. It must be in here with the Nexus. Wait, the Nexus has no additional pages. Is it you? I could have sworn I had a bunch of collected pages of like weird parts of the city. There might be one in the guy's office. Or there might not. Why'd you glow like that? Is there one here? Wait, was it doing that before? I don't remember. The whole thing just glowed at me. -39. What? Are you telling me that that's the direction of -39? Wait. Stopped happening. Why does it only happen in that room? Wait, I have questions. It turns gold when I look in this direction. Until it stops. Right there. Am I near it? Huh. I can almost see it being a rotational degree, like what direction I'm facing. It has to be 39. Interesting. Huh. Well, I don't think the thing's in here because it never goes red. And I might be stumbling towards a clue for the next step. The shining gold probably means something. Otherwise, it'd be really weird inclusion. Yeah, we just may turn gold every now and then just to like, make people, you know, just to gaslight a few people for funsies. Come on. If I spin around, does it turn gold around here? No. Here's the next question. Do I have to have, like, the correct one toggled? That's the concern. Oh, crap. Which one did I have? I don't... I'm trying to remember. Which one did I have turned on last time I was there? Do I have to go back? I might want to go back. Oh, it's blinking at me. Okay. I mean, I guess we're making progress, so we're in a good spot there. I've already found half of them. I really see where abduction came from now with all that constant warping. Because I'm doing non-stop warping right now. It's like the core of how you do anything in this game at this point. So it's kind of more interesting that abduction took the warping and made it a core mechanic of the actual puzzle solving and not just a navigation thing. This game doesn't have a lot of warping puzzles. The main one is probably when I took the fireflies through the portal with me, or through the linking book with me to the other age to light up an area. Whereas abduction has you just explicitly using the warping technology to solve many of its puzzles by the late game. I just caught myself trying to rank them all for a second there in my head, like which games I think are better or worse. A little hard to compare. I do kind of feel like the story of abduction might have been a little less compelling. But some of the mechanics were decent, even if the travel time involved in the loading, the very slow loading, was kind of a problem. You're not the right one. I'm certainly not solving this correctly if I'm just stumbling through it. They're giving me coordinates. I don't know how the hell to actually use said coordinates, but they are giving me coordinates. We can't say they're not doing that. Although I'm not sure if I'm just being dense or if there really is a way to effectively use said coordinates with my current level of knowledge of the game. I'm trying to think of any examples where the coordinates are actually displayed to you. But interestingly, let's see. Keep going, right? Something that comes to mind is just the fact that, like, I think we're calibrating this thing so that it can show me coordinates. But if we're just giving it the ability to give us coordinates now, then that means that it doesn't. That means I don't already have the ability to have coordinates shown. If I'm doing that now. $52. 51. So that's got to be like an X coordinate, probably. Yeah, it's tracking my position right now. So if me calibrating this thing lets it show my coordinates, then that it would seem that would mean that I shouldn't be able to use the coordinates then. It's like a catch-22. They give me the coordinates to find each of these points, but my device that shows coordinates doesn't work yet. And I have to find them basically through brute force, I think. Although 2 of them have already been in this linking book series, which makes it a lot easier to find than having to run around the city. So if I'm lucky, maybe they all are in this. We're back here again. I'm always tempted to read more of these. It's just there's so many documents here. If I was playing this as an MMO and I wasn't doing a series and I was just hanging out, I probably would read all of these eventually. Because books. But that would be like 10 episodes of me reading in a row. Which at some point is literally not a Let's Play. If you're just doing an audiobook for like 10 hours. I have not read any more of the Atrus book yet. I got a little distracted. Admittedly, I got Batman White Knight, so I've been reading that because I read Killing Joke recently, and now I'm reading White Knight. These standalone volumes that are like a little Joker story that doesn't necessarily, where like you kind of can't tell if it has continuity with the rest of Batman or not. They're compelling little stories. This one's one about Joker becoming not insane, maybe, and maybe even being the good guy and exposing that Batman is the bad. This one links me back into the main place. All right. Well, then it's gonna take a lot longer to find the last 2, it would seem. But I'll try. Yeah, I lost focus on Atrus a little bit just because there's I'm like a third of the way through the book, I think, when I left off, and there's still no discernible plot, necessarily. So, I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna go. But the first third is all set up, and all just sort of talking about a setting, I guess, and Atrus, and the relationship between him, his dad, and his grandmother. And no discernible, like, conflict or thing that is happening. It's just he exists and now he's here and now he's here, which it's interesting on the level of an additive to the fact that I'm playing Uru and I get to hear a different account of this setting that I'm in right now, this strange subterranean city. Getting more context on that's kind of interesting. And getting more context on the cleft and whatnot. Like, the Book of Atrus is an interesting companion to specifically this game. Because of the fact that the settings, the cleft, and this place are directly the places that the book is taking place in so far is interesting. Basically for the same reasons why it's interesting to read any of those documents about how this place used to be. Either when the Denis were here or when the other guys were working here. The company. But much like a lot of those documents, actually not necessarily. I was about to say that much like those documents, it's also kind of not telling a story. But that's not entirely true, because those documents actually did tell about the rise and fall of this company, and so on. Although it kind of omitted, didn't it kind of omit the actual cause of the fall a little bit, so I can discover it later or something? I don't know, it was a lot, admittedly. Alright, well, we'll see when I find something. Ah, my fear was correct. Yep. Because that's a place I was already at before. So I got lucky, basically. You can only find the one that's currently toggled on via the blinking light back at the base. And so I have to specifically find that one that I've toggled. But I kind of got lucky and found two of them without really coordinating that much. But once I toggled on the first one, I had to go back to the place that it was set for. Which in this case meant going to a place I previously was. As far as I can tell, this seems to be... I can see what purpose this serves mechanically a little bit. I just clicked the wrong one. You idiot. That's not... We're going to Rezo, not... Why did I do that? Multitasking, I guess. This serves a mechanical purpose on some level, which is that it's a little bit of gatekeeping. It's supposed to be an expansion, right? So the idea is that you should probably have played the majority of the main game already. Or at least that was maybe is the intention of how they want you to approach this content. So they require me to use all these pages, but these pages are things I found throughout the main campaign. Like, and they're almost secrets too. Like, they're optional content from throughout the campaign that you had to find along the way. I think none of them served a purpose, right? These are all the little books that were just sort of lying around. Weird slabs of stone that have a linking panel on them. None of them did anything. They just existed and gave you glimpses of this city from different angles. But now that I'm doing this content, they're like, hey, go back and calibrate your thing, but you can only calibrate it by visiting these secret page locations that you can only find, I believe, by playing through the main campaign. I think that the ones I visited were probably... I wouldn't be surprised if each of them was in one of Yeesha's worlds that I was sent to in the main campaign. As a way of making sure you've actually done all that. Because this guides you back through that. In the process of searching through it all, you would go back and you'd end up solving your way through the campaign if you haven't already. I see what this is, by the way. So each of these has one of the symbols on this guy. So like, we're getting each of these 3 coordinates. So the one that when I light it up, that's when that one starts working. And this last one is this guy, which means it's so that must be the Great Zero right there. Like, that must be the Great Zero. The coordinate is probably the location of that panel right there. And so this probably calibrates me to that. It's the only one that doesn't fit, because the other 3 are all the coordinates on this thing. And this one is that structure over there instead. Alright, so let's go find the circle one. There we go. I did it. I did the goods. I think they said, yep, now it just says where I am at all times. And I think they said that I could go to the... Okay. I mean, I kind of figured it wouldn't work that way. So none of them are my rotational thing. 2 of them look like rotations, which is why it's a little confusing. But rotations don't... A rotational coordinate doesn't make much sense on a map. You can certainly tell a person which way they're facing on a 360-degree list of directions, I guess, but it doesn't help you navigate, necessarily. Or specifically, you need these points of information first, and then you would give directions based on your rotation, not coordinates themselves. All right, so. I'm gonna, maybe it's like Y, X, Z. I always get mixed up whether once you're talking about 3D, whether you talk about it Y or Z being the vertical one. Because logically, when I look top down at a map, I think, oh, the y-axis is up and down, x-axis is left and right, and z would be depth, which means going into or away from the paper, basically, height-wise. That's how it makes sense logically to me, but really, whenever you talk about real maps, you just don't actually talk about x, y, and z. It's longitude, latitude, and altitude. But then I'm really good at mixing up longitude and latitude, and have to double check myself. I'm really bad at terminology in every context. I'm just a master. Blink. So I need to find 57, 325, 110, 79. Okay. I don't really want to open my notes every single time. Let's see here. Don't you just love that luscious paper noise? Oh man, the sounds of note-taking. I don't really want to manually open my digital notepad that's down here every single time, so let's write this on a physical paper for Mike's sake real quick. Let's see. So 5, 7, 3, 2, 5. I'm also trying to draw the symbols in at least some state for my own sake on being able to tell which one's which. All right, so 5, 7, 3, 2, 5, 110, blah blah blah. Okay. Let's cross compare, because I'll also write them down in here for the sake of a permanent-ish record. I just want to have a note I can look at physically. Bobo Agobo, we got that one. That was the colors trick. This must be how the coordinate system works. 5, 7, 3, 2, 5 dots 110 dot negative 79. Whereas the other one was 21, 75, 58, negative 81. I find it interesting how big one of these numbers is. I'm gonna write this on my notepad too. Let's see. 21, 7, 5, 58, negative 81. So I would take... I think I'm gonna run with the assumption that the negative number is our altitude, and that we are deep underground because cave, and that's what that's referring to. Let's see. It's currently negative 2? Oh. It's okay. Negative 1. 0. Negative 1. Yeah. So I am right. I am right that this is my height. It's gonna become negative 2 now, right? Yep. And then negative 3. Down here. There we go. Yeah, so this is my height. But apparently it's not calibrated to be based on... It's not calibrated based on, the surface of the planet. Which makes sense, I guess, because we are so deep down, the number should be way higher than 79 or 81. But yeah, that's just saying my height. So not the most important number. I should go with X and Y and base my progress based on that. And then if I get to the XY coordinate and for some reason can't find what I'm looking for, then I look at the height to see if there's like a trick, like a floor change I can do that'll fix it. On some level I can figure out which coordinate changes when I walk in certain directions, but that only helps me on this map. And this map's not where I want to be. Yeah, this map's useless to me. I mean, this location's useless to me. Because we're looking for 57, 325, and 2175. And that location is like 3100 something or whatever, so that's like not even close to the right coordinates. Which means that we need to warp to a completely different location. Let's go to the streets. I'll start here, it's the biggest area, and I'll try to see if the big number is close to either of the locations I'm looking for. It's close to one of them. It's close to the Zandy one. It says 1970. I'm looking for 2175. Okay, I need the number to go higher than that. It's going down instead. It also moves really fast. Wait, it's right here. $21.75, 58.81. A little higher. It's like right here in the debris or something. 2170. All right, 2175, 58, 81. What does this mean? Is there something I can only see from here? What? 2175, 58, 81. Yeah. I'm supposed to be slightly higher than I am right now, but otherwise I'm in the right spot. What does this mean? It's a little grim, potentially. Like it's a destroyed location. Is it where he set a bomb? The gathered will tell the path of the shell. It's right here. Maybe it's directly above my head. Kind of go over here and look above where I just was. Oh, wait, I can just look at here, I guess. It is like right here, basically. Yeah, I didn't have to go into... I didn't have to walk and look back, because I can just look above my head via third person. The gathered will tell the path of the shell. Whoa, blow light. Oh, no, those lights are normal. I mean, it's a destroyed platform. Huh. Well, that was easy to find, coordinate-wise, and that it was the first place I teleported to in this town was the right spot. Based on that, I can probably verify that this is also the wrong spot for where I'm looking for otherwise. Because the place I'm looking for right now is in the 57,000 range, not 2,000 range.